Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Third Degree. I'm your host, Sid Rosenberg, and joining me today, a man that's now going into his 6th season in the National Football League, spent 4 years in Dallas with the Cowboys, a real good season a year ago with the Miami Dolphins, getting ready for year 2 of the playoff Miami Dolphins, and that is defensive back Nate Jones. Nate, how are you, pal?
How you doing, man?
Good to see you.
Appreciate it.
Lots to talk about today, of course. Championship weekend coming up. We got the 2 big games inside the AFC. Pittsburgh hosting the Baltimore Ravens out in the desert. Arizona hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's start with the AFC side of things. You just saw the Ravens a couple of weeks ago. They got you twice in your home stadium, Dolphin Stadium. Were you impressed with the Ravens? Is this a football team you think has a real legitimate shot to win in Pittsburgh against the Steelers?
Let me tell you something. They're a pretty good team. They came down. They played us well the first round. Everybody talks about their defense, number 2 in the league. I mean, they had a pretty good offense, and they're playing well right now, and they're hot. In this game, I'm going to pick the lesser of the 2 evils for me, and I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. But it's going to be a heck of a game.
I like Pittsburgh, too. I think this game, you got 2 great defenses, as you know, Nate, being a defensive player. This game gets down to the fourth quarter. You got a 7-7 football game or a 10-10 football game. Now you need the offense to make a big play. And even though Joe Flacco he looks like he's been in the league for 10 years, and he's matured pretty well here, he's not Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger's won a Super Bowl. He's been here before. So I'll take the quarterback in Pittsburgh to come up with the big play.
At home.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh at home to make the big play.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but it's going to be a fun one to watch if you're a football fan, because it's going to come down to what football is about: defense, running the ball, and just who's tougher in the end.
Hard hitting, no doubt about it, and cold weather temperatures. Now you go out to Arizona where the weather will be nice. Kurt Warner's a guy that has had a nice little style here, has Bolden on one side, Fitzgerald on the other. He's got all this talent around him, and when you don't touch him, Kurt Warner can still kill you like he did in St. Louis. My feeling is that Philadelphia, Jimmy Johnson will blitz. They'll get to Kurt Warner, and some quarterbacks you can hit them, like Peyton Manning, they still respond. Roethlisberger still responds. Warner's the type of guy. You hit Warner early and often, he will fall apart. Philly will do that, and Philly will win in Arizona.
Yeah, these guys down in Philly, they always do this they come in the end, this luck that they have. Andy Reid growing the beards, Donovan McNabb's running around again like he's a kid. He's picking up the phone. He's doing all that. So
picking up the phone, I could have done without a Giants stadium.
Yeah. So it's hard to go against Philly in this one. Like you said, Kurt Warner, he can get rattled, but they have a good dynamic offense down there in Arizona. Bolden's a little hurt, but I'm gonna go with Philly. I think Philly and the Steelers is gonna be the best ticket to see the Super Bowl. That'll be a good matchup. But I'm gonna go with Philly. Arizona's had a good run, but I think the old dogs down there in Philly, the number 3 defense in the league.
Yeah.
Okay. So defense, wins, and I think they're gonna get after it.
So there you go. Both of us like the Steelers taking on the Eagles coming up in Tampa. We'll be live on Radio Row for 4 days coming up for Super Bowl 43. Now tell me, you mentioned Larry Fitzgerald. It depends who you talk to. I spoke to Rondé Barber last week. He told me Steve Smith is the best wide receiver in football. I've spoken to guys that have told me Andre Johnson is the best wide receiver in football. You mentioned Larry Fitzgerald. I've heard from guys he's the best wide receiver in football. Who's the best wide receiver in football? Your opinion. The guys you played against. Now, you played with T.O. He's not there anymore. Okay. So give me somebody else.
I played against Larry in college also.
That's right. Rutgers
and Pitt.
Pitt.
Rutgers Pitt.
Right.
So I'm not a fan, but obviously I played against him. You know what I mean?
Big fan of Larry.
He's what you call it. When you look on your scouting report, he's in blue. You got some guys that are in blue.
That's a guy you have to prepare for.
There's elite.
Gotcha.
You named probably the top 3 in the league. I'm gonna go with just Fitzgerald. I'm gonna go Fitzgerald.
Really, Fitzgerald's the best in the league. Wow.
Right now. I mean, the way he's not going to be your fastest guy, but he's tough. He go out there, he gets the ball, and when we played them this year, they did us in kind of bad. And Andre Johnson will be my close second.
Yeah, Andre Johnson's a beast. Now tell me about T.O. You played in Dallas, and you're in Miami now for 1 year, but you spent 4 years in Dallas, played a couple of years with T.O. I'm not a big T.O. fan. In fact, I don't like him. Now, he's not a bad guy. He's never been arrested off the football field. He hasn't shot himself like Plaxico Burress. But I always say in that little world of football, there's a real world, which we live in. There's that little football world. In that little football world, T.O.'s a bad guy. He's a bad teammate. He's thrown his coaches and quarterbacks under the bus. But you played with him. You know him better than I do, and you're going to tell me differently, aren't you?
I'm going to tell you differently. I'm going to say this. All the guys are going to tell you to play with T.O. He's going to bring you to another level. He is.
What level? They haven't won a damn playoff game in Dallas in 20 years.
Just maybe as an individual, you like to compete against him, and he's going to make you bring your game a little bit. He's helped me when I was in Dallas, okay? We know about all the other antics off the field, on the field, sideline. You don't want to deal with it. You don't want to deal with it. Nobody likes that.
But in the end, he's a good teammate. You feel like he's got your back, and for the most part, he's a guy that wants to win, and he's there for you.
You can't question that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I
It's
can.
there.
I do all the time.
I mean, you can, but it's there. When you play with him, it's there.
Okay.
You know, he wants to win. How he goes about doing it,
Right.
you may question.
Well, let me ask you then about this. You're a Dolphin football team. Great season. All you guys deserve credit. Exceeded all expectations and shocked everybody. But truth be told, the talent on that football team, it needs work.
You think it's puffed up?
No doubt about it. You're not going to win too many Super Bowls. No disrespect with Camarillo, Devon Best, and Ted Ginn at wide receiver. You guys need a big-time wide receiver. Ernest Wilford maybe could have been that guy, but as it turned out, he should have gone to work with a gun and a mask because he robbed the organization. So a guy like T.O. is out there right now, or a guy like Chad Johnson is out there. Do you want those guys on your football team?
Playmakers. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, they're going to help you win regardless.
Okay.
And I think the guys we have now, we won. I mean, I know you think it's puffed up, but I mean, we won. You win however you win in this league.
Fair.
Fair?
You beat who's on your schedule.
Right.
Even
So,
if it is the Rams, the
okay.
Seahawks, the Raiders, the Chiefs.
And those teams beat some teams in our division
FIU.
too. That's all right. You know, they beat some teams in our division too, and we won when we had to. We won when we had to.
You did.
On the road in some tough games. So I love my teammates, and I know they're going to be back next year playing. But I'm pretty sure they're going to go out this year aggressively, free agent draft, and get like you said, get some big time guys.
Well, that's the thing, Nate, right? Being a member of this Dolphin team, right? And now and deservedly so. There's optimism. You guys really did a terrific season, and Chad's a terrific quarterback, and Sperano looks like a great coach. But knowing that Bill is there, knowing that he's the guy calling the shots, now you got his second draft coming and free agents, you got to feel like, hey, as good as we were this year, now really the sky's the limit, right? I mean, you got to have very high expectations.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're going to go out and get guys that are going to try to take your spot, you know, and they're going to hit some key positions we know. And Bill's there, and he's going to get them, and he's going to go out and get them hard. And Jeff Ireland, they're going to go get them. That's fine, you know. I'm going into my 6th year. I know how this goes. This is what it is. They bring in the new young guys. They're going to go get some guys, and that's fine. And we'll be good, and they're going to get it better. They're going to get it better. We went 11-5 this year. We have to start over next year. There's no picking up where we left off. We have to start over.
Well, what is you see Bill a lot around the organization? I know Bill is a guy that when he got here said, look, I'm putting guys in place. Tony's coaching the team. Jeff's calling the shots. I'll be there at the home games, but I'm not going to be an imposing figure every day. I'm not going to be the, hey, I'm over your shoulder. Is that true? Is that how Bill was?
He's kind of like the Godfather now.
He is, right?
Yeah, that's what he is.
Yeah.
He's like you said, you know he's watching from where you don't know.
Right. But the God, because I remember Chaz Palminteri in the movie The Bronx Tale said this, Nate, the great Nate Jones for the Dolphins. Is it better to be loved or feared? Do you love Bill Parcells or are you afraid of Bill Parcells? And the answer better be a little of both.
About to say. Got to be a little of both, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you love and respect what he does, and you know he can have the power to, whatever.
Just like that, it could be over. Yeah, just like that, it could be over. Well, listen, 1 year in Miami. Next year, Chad is back, and like we talked about, getting some new players. So I imagine you're looking forward to year 2 here down with the Dolphins, right?
Really looking forward.
Is it more fun here in Miami than it was in Dallas?
You know what? Coming from what we did, it's fun. You know, Dallas is always going to have that America's team hype every year, whatever. Same things, different day, different story. But coming from what we did, this is fun. Cool. And I'm a part of it. It's fun. And I have a role here now, and it's definitely fun.
You have a role here now, too, on the Third Degree. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
good to
it,
see
man.
you.
Thank you.
Eagles and the Steelers, we got the same team. So you and I'll come back and do this in a couple of weeks. See if we're right.
I'll be back.
All right, there it is, folks. He is defensive back for the Miami Dolphins, former Dallas Cowboy Nate Jones, who's become a regular here on the Third Degree. That'll do it for us right now. But, of course, don't forget, keep it right here at opensports.com, where the future of sports on the web is open. We'll see you next time.
Think you can complete the drive? Play today and get an automatic entry to win daily prizes, 2 tickets to the big game, and a brand new car. Start your drive today at opensports.com.